What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Marshall D coming at you with some more Vanguard deck profiles. So we got Spike Rose being presented to you by Aiden. Enjoy.
Alrighty, first off is Mecha Trainer. It's a starter. You want to run a starter, and it's the best starter, so don't run any of the other ones.
Why is it the best starter?
Because it's the OG Mech Knight, Mecha Trainer. And you know something? If you played during G and had Hellheart 8, you know that he's the boy. Alright, so my grade 3s, for Bull Spike because he is your main ride target. Moving force markers and applying pressure, making them want to take damage in a deck where you're creating a lot of numbers, so sometimes it is frightening. With Bull Spike, his skill is 1, when a unit attacks, you can Soul Blast 1 to move all the force markers on the board to that unit. And then it has a once return. If the card with a force marker underneath it does not hit, you retire Rigor and draw a card. This is really good against a lot of the meta right now. Any Murakumo, like they run out of pieces, you're forcing them to have to take damage because they don't want their pieces to die. And you have other on hits in deck that they don't want to happen. It puts them in a tight position. I know a lot of people are running Siegfried right now instead of the Jug and running 2 extra bad ends. With Jug, he gains 10k on when placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, and he goes into Soul during my main phase. The reason why he's really good, I believe, is that he's practically a free Soul Charge in a deck that now you're Soul Blasting a lot. Before it was Counter Blast, now it's Soul Blast. He's also a 23k beater, and because you're moving force markers around, it'll be 33 hitting, so that if they're a Protect or Excel deck that we see a lot of right now, they have to guard more than a heal trigger. And then bad end, I was running him at 4 for a little bit, but the reason I cut him to 2 is because you want to ride Bull Spike. Riding him, then riding Bull Spike is nice to retire 2 rear guards, but it's not as amazing when you can't move the force markers around. Also, the main reason why I run it is on rear guard and Vanguard. You counterblast want to put a card at bottom deck to gain 5k crit. With Jug, if you see all 4 pieces, or you send 3 into Soul, or 2 into Soul, 1's in hand and 1's on field, after you attack with it, you can send it to Soul so that your next Jug is live. Also, because of the crit pressure, right when they're at 4, they have to not let this hit. Then you get the Bull Spike to retire and draw. With grade 2s, it's really more up to preference, but I am a firm believer that this is the best ratio. So I'm running Power Back Romario because unlike Street Bouncer, he doesn't take Soul. He also puts a card into Soul. Again, you need Soul for this beauty of a card.
His name is not Romario.
What? Oh, fuck. Whatever his fucking name is.
Renade. There you go.
Whatever his fucking name is, doesn't matter. His effect is when he's called from hand, so it can't be called from deck. Counterblast. Look up to the number of your grade 3, just like Street Bouncer, but it calls up to 3. So the reason this is good is because you're gaining advantage off of Bull Spike and other more grade 1s. You can keep hand and start defending a little bit better than you used to. Also, you can just flood the field with 2 rear guards early on ride. And because of that, you're just causing pressure like you normally would. This guy's really good. I cut high speed Bracky for him. Even though high speed Bracky gives Soul, whenever he's on a force marker, he's a 20k, even on my opponent's turn. And it comes up sometimes where like you're playing against an Excel deck and they can't hit Vanguard and they try to swing at rears, but then he's a 20k. He's also, because of that, he gets really big with more, the later the game goes on, the bigger he gets. For This guy's really, really important. Arguably the best grade 2 I'm running right now. What he does is when he attacks, you can counterblast 1 to move all the force markers to his circle. The reason why that's really good is because sometimes you run out of soul bull spike, and you want to manage it so that you just counteract it. Sometimes you don't use a lot of counterblast in the deck anymore, so you can sacrifice it. Also, what I was saying earlier, where they want to let things hit. Now, if he hits, he retires a rear guard. So if they don't let it hit, I retire and draw. If they let it hit, I retire. So they don't want to lose their rear guards. It's more controlling. Overall, the idea is to put them in a bind where they're losing something no matter what. For grade 1s, I am running these guys. So the only one I kept was, his name's Gary. Gary right here. Gary's the boy. Because again, with bull spike, they want to let things hit. But now if he's boosting an attack, so you put him behind a juggernaut or the other another card, bad end. And if they are not trying to take damage, but so that you don't get bull spike off, now this is now drawing you a card. It's actually drawing you 2, putting 1 back, and that's really good again because I'm running the juggernaut, and Jug then will be live again. He also just pressured. No one wants to let him hit, and especially early game with this next card, Devil. So the reason I run him is because he also moves force markers for a counterblast when he boosts, not when he attacks. But you can do cute things with him behind a jug and stuff. Even if you ride a juggernaut or a bad end, he can help move forces still a little bit. It's just not optimal. But the main reason why you run him is on Vanguard. When his attack hits, you draw a card. So early game, if you ride him and call Gary the boy himself, you get to, if they let it hit, you get to draw 3 and put 1 back, so it's a +2. It's really, really good. And you're just trying to see bull spike. So the quicker you can draw, the quicker you can do what you want to do and control the game. Also, because people know that this is a draw 2, or draw 3, put 1 back, they're not going to let it hit. So you're taking cards that they might have not guarded with normally out of their hand, and you're slowly whittling their hand down so that when you get to bull spike, they're 115k early can matter later when you ride a grade 3 because they now don't have that trigger in hand. And the last grade 1, offensive punter. His main thing is when he's rode upon, he gets called up to rear. So again, he's just free advantage. He's your second ride target. Or if you're going first, he's your optimal ride target because he's just a free rear guard. And also when he boosts, you can soul blast 1 and gain 2k, so he's a 10k booster. So he's practically just adding another force to an attack. And he goes at bottom and you draw a card. Again, you are trying to filter as quickly as possible to bull spike. So he's just a filter. You draw a card. He goes back into deck. So he's overall a really decent card. The only thing I'd say with him, again, you soul blast a lot with bull spike because you can soul blast up to 3 times a turn. And sometimes you're not able to pay his skill. Then he's just a 10k booster or an 8k booster, or you can just throw him down on force markers, and 1 force marker makes him 18. So it just makes numbers. And with my triggers, I still believe that running 6 crit, 6 drawn, 4 heals the best for this deck. You want to see your pieces, like I said. You're running draw triggers just to make sure you see bull spike as much as possible, because your chances of winning drop significantly if you do not ride him. That's why a lot of people run Siegfried, It's just I feel like even if you ride Siegfried, you're still not in a good position. So I'd rather have the better offensive rear guard in Jug than Siegfried. Also because Jug is still a 23k beater on first ride. If your opponent's a grade 2, that's still pressure. And he just creates a force marker. You're trying to move forces, so if you ride him first and then bull spike, it's not as bad. Like Siegfried also takes counterblast. He does fill up your soul though, but I just firmly believe that I rather have the Jug. And for the price of this deck, mostly, the cards in this deck, you can roughly get it for on TCG Player as on the time of recording this video, around 120. I believe for that price, it's one of the better options at that price range for today's metagame, over things like Gold Paladin and stuff like that. Maybe when Golds get their support, they'll get better. But for a Force deck, it's better than a good amount of the Force decks. I feel like Shadows and DP are the only Force decks better than this. But surprisingly, we have a good matchup against Shadows because we gain advantage just like them. But we also get the added bonus of moving Force markers and retiring their Blaster Darks, and if they only run 2 of the grade 1, we can also get rid of those. So just the utility that this deck can have, playing more of a defensive play style, but you can switch it into a aggressive aggro really quickly. Also, there's another deck if you're more of a budget player. It's a Siegfried deck. It's really fun. It's really good. It's more the old play style, super aggro, not like gaining advantage, but you're mostly just trying to push their shit in real quick. And I can give you that deck profile. That deck probably at the time recording this will be closer to the $80-$70 price range. They use Force 2 and multi-attacking a lot more. Pretty good deck. I just believe that this is the best Spike Brother version right now.
If you enjoyed that video, hit that like, subscribe button on your way out, and we'll see you later. Thanks.